Hey guys, today's video, we're going to start putting stuff together. Also, I'll show you what I've got done on here. So make sure you stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Howdy guys, welcome to the cave. I'm Mark, and you're watching Blue Street Customs. Welcome back, guys. Well, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Right here, we've got, let's see if I can get close enough there. I've got the little bit of a cage built, and I've got a piece of chain link to go in between. I'll paint up my propane bottles. I put them in the box just to get them out of the way and not lose them. I also went along, like I said in the last video, you can see that I've been working on the ladder. Alright, that's about all I've gotten done on this. There's more I want to do, but I have to be further along before I can do them. So what I'm going to do today is bulk build some of the stuff. Bulk building, basically all that is putting a bunch of the panels together, you know, certain things that can go together. Back door we're obviously not using, you know, so I'm going to be putting things like some of the seats together, put the engine and stuff together, the basic parts of it, put the firewall in the front, clip on the vehicle, prep up the hood. Now I'm going to also build the chassis, you know, put a few things together, still leaving them on the tree, so put all the suspension on, things like that, maybe put the lower chin spoiler on the hood and everything. Basically building it in bulk pieces so that I can pre-paint, so like the chassis and stuff. I mean, that would be basically one color, but before I do any painting, I want to prime everything and you know, make sure there's all the mold lines are gone, make sure everything's sanded what needs to be sanded and scraped. Probably won't be using the back seats just because it's more of a living area inside than it is a passenger vehicle. But yeah, I'm just going to prime things in bulk. This way I can go along and bulk paint certain things, like all the chassis is going to be pretty much one color. You know, probably be some sort of flat black or something. I can go along after and paint the exhaust, you know, a different color. You know, if I want to touch something else up in a different color, maybe some of the shocks or something like that, touch up some of the steel steering linkage, you know, just different things. But basically it's going to be one color. The body is going to be pretty much the same thing. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to prime this piece. I probably should, just because of the fact there is some styrene in spots. The metal, you know, it's not going to hold paint as easy, the type of paint I'm using. I probably should prime the whole thing and then just paint the wood on, weather it, you know. It'd probably work out a lot better that way. But basically, yeah, it's all going to be one color. The hood, you know, anything that's going to be in that color, paint that color. So that's what I'm going to do, is bulk this up. I may record some of it, but I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me build this. If you do, let me know in the comments, and maybe in the next video I'll record it all. Let me know what you think, because I read all the comments, and if you want to see me build it piece by piece, let me know. So I'm going to bulk this up, and I'll be back. Hey, so what you've seen me do is clean up the frame, get rid of some of the flash and the mold lines, things like that. Getting ready to bulk this frame up, get it ready for paint. Anyways, I'm looking at the suspension. Yeah, it's fairly detailed. Looks pretty good. See any problems though? I don't like that. Now that's supposed to represent a coil spring. And to me, that looks like shit. So, I found something that was roughly the right diameter. Took some aluminum wire, wrapped it around it. Okay, now you can see the coil spring stuff here. Cut some off. Now I've got coil springs. So I'm going to cut these off and put that in its place. I know it's hard for me to hold, hard for you to see. But anyways, that's going to replace that. Now I'm thinking of doing the same thing on the front. It's a lot tighter area. I don't know if I can, but I may give it a try. I've got some extra coil spring, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the back ones and work my way to the front and see if that'll work. I just like having better detail, so sit back. I'll probably put this on a bit of a time lapse. You guys can sit there and watch. Alright, boys and girls, I'm just about ready to start priming stuff. Last few things I got to do is pull these out, glue these in, glue in my top rails. That's not a top rail. But anyways, I got to glue in my top rails. I got to glue these ones on, but I got to put a piece of chain in it too, so I'll glue that on. So this here, I've glued on the front. Alright, I still got a little bit of filing to do. Sand it up, get rid of some of the glue lines, but that's together. Now there's still some stuff here. These will be primed all one color. You know, I've assembled the fan, you know, fan and belts. Just prime this stuff together. I got the rad hoses and stuff, they'll be painted, but I'll prime everything first. Put the fan shroud on the radiator with the radiator support, so I'll prime that up. And then a few little parts on here, drive shaft, license plate, washer either washer fluid, yeah, washer tank. So that'll all get primed up. I'll also prime up the truck itself. Now I've pre-assembled part of the hood. So again, I just got to sand a few of these joint marks here. Sand them up, and then that can get primed. Now, as I was showing you, I didn't like the way they did the coil spring stuff on here. So I've got this assembled as far as I'm going to assemble it. Shocks, front suspension, rear suspension, everything. But as you can see, I made my own coil springs, and I did do the front ones. I don't know if you can see that there. Kind of small in there, but they are there. So I'll get that all primed up. Put the engine mostly together. So of course that'll get primed up. Same thing with the dash. I put the steering wheel on, and that'll get primed in. Now the seat was supposed to be like this. That was one piece, right? It was all one piece, goes in here, all right? I didn't like it. The guy is going to be living in his truck, whatever. He's not going to climb over top every time. So I cut it off. Now, once I cut it off, you end up with this, right? Big gap in there. So I took a chunk of styrene, glued it in there, cut it to the shape, filed it flat. Now I'll use some milliput or something like that and fill in a tiny little gap there and finish sanding it off. I also went, put on the sides. So this will get primed up. I got to trim off a couple locating tabs because they're not going to get used. So when I've got that done, I'll be back and I'll show you and we'll get ready to prime. Okay guys, well, I've got things primed up. I got this here primed, painted the wood and everything. It's all primed in black. Also a bunch of other stuff. Went and primed the bottom. Also primed the inside, but I'll show you that in a minute. All of this is all primed, the chassis. Now, of course, that's pretty much going to stay like that. I'll end up weathering this and leaving it as it is. And of course, everything else that's primed, fan belts, air cleaner, all that stuff. Radiator with the fan shroud. It's all primed up. So, of course, some of it's going to get colored. Most of it's just going to get weathered. Now, I got the wheel backs here. These are like the brake drum style wheel backs. Got those primed up. Got the bottom of the hood primed in black. Got the top of the hood primed in white. See later why that is. Now I've also gone ahead and painted a few things. Painted the interior. Kind of a camel green. I mean, it's hard to tell, but there's black, there's green, right? Now, of course, a lot of this is going to get dirtied up and weathered. The seat was also painted. Again, that'll get weathered up. Now, I did paint the inside here, same color as the green. But when I primed the outside, I masked it off so that, you know, I didn't get on the inside of it. I also went ahead and painted or primed the engine black. And once I painted it black, I sprayed it the Chevy orange. Now the tranny will get painted silver, a couple odds and ends here and there. Now the black, if you look, let's see if we can get that to focus in. Might be too much light. There. Kind of like that. You can kind of see like the black areas. It's hard to tell, but I don't know. It's not showing up. But anyways, it gives the illusion of shadows, things like that. That's going to get all weathered, dirty, oil and grease, things like that. Now I also went and painted the rims. Kind of a color in real life isn't what's showing up on the camera. This is more of a burgundy color. Camera, it seems to be more of a cherry red, but it is burgundy. Maybe this will show the different colors. This is red. This is burgundy. So yeah, that makes the colors show up a little different. So anyways, that kind of gives you a small indication of what's going to be happening with the truck. Now the hood is going to be a totally different color again, almost like it was a replacement hood or something like that. But until then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my airbrush and I'm going to do some colors, some rusting colors. You know, I've got raw umber, burnt sienna, golden brown, and tan. So I'm going to do up patches on this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a salt chipping effect. I've never done any type of patina painting on any of my models before, or on anything really, so this is going to be a first time for me. I've never done the salt effect before, so hopefully that works. And I might even do a bit of the hairspray chipping effect. Now I know there is chipping fluids that you can buy from like Vallejo and Tamiya and things like that. They cost a lot of money. I'm doing it the cheap way. So you will hear the air compressor. I will mix up my colors. I'm just going to use like these little sauce cups you can get from like restaurants or whatever. So I got the airbrush ready to go. Got a brush for mixing and stuff. Now I will be also doing weathering on this and mud effects, which is again something I've never done. So this is an experiment model along with the custom building of the camper piece. So I'm going to, really I don't know if I should start off with the dark and start small and work to the lighter colors, or start with the lighter colors and work dark. I have no idea. So I'll probably end up washing this out because I think I'm going to start with the darker colors. So I'm going to let you sit back and watch. Do a bit of a time lapse on this. I don't want to go too fast because I want you to see what's going on. Now that I've got this airbrushed, and you probably think, what the fuck am I thinking? But you're going to see in a little bit here. I'm going to do it on the roof so you can see it, but I have to put water on, I have to put salt on, let it dry, and then continue on both sides. Once I've got that done, I'll come back and I'll show you, but I'll show you the process up here first. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some salt, throw it in here so it's easier to get to. Now everything I see, they always say that you can use any size salt, but the finer grain table salt type stuff is the better one to use. It just seems to give you a better effect. So we're going to wet this down here. Now you want to make sure that this stuff is really dry, or putting the water on, you're going to kind of start taking it all off. And we don't want to do that. So once you have it all wet, okay guys, well, got the airbrushing done. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever tried this technique. And you know me, I like to try new things, and I'll show you what it looks like. And I'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, the triumphs and fail. Now to me, it's not quite what I wanted, but it's kind of okay. If I look forward into the future with the rest of the painting and chipping that I want to do, it doesn't look too bad. But I'll let you tell me in the comments what you think. Let me know if I should just totally give it a light sanding and repaint it and maybe put a gloss color paint on it and then try to rust that up, or if I should continue further and see what comes of the paint job. And then if we don't like it, then we could try again, start over. So here it is. Now mind you, there is overspray and stuff, so ignore that part. What I'm looking at is what the truck itself actually looks like. Okay, now I should have used more browns and reds for the undercoat to make it more of a rust. The vehicle itself is supposed to be red and rusting through. So I'm thinking with a sponge, doing some oil paint and rusting and stuff like that, I think I can change it and make it look better. but in a way, it almost looks like the truck was supposed to be green. Now, I'm not sure where the green came from because I only used some browns and blacks and a little bit of reds and oranges to actually make the rust underneath. But it didn't seem to work that way. So here's what we got. Now, it did kind of work the way I wanted it to. It's got some nice, chipping and fading and stuff like that on top. Roof kind of the same way, but the green and stuff, I don't know where that came from. Like I said, I used browns and blacks and some reds to make an undertone of rust, but it didn't work that way. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try it again on another vehicle or something else. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done this. So let me know what you think. I'm not worried about the camper right now. That's going to get painted a totally different color later. What I'm looking at is the truck. So should I continue and do sponging and stuff on here and use some oil paints and make some rust streaks? I plan on doing some dust and mud and stuff on here as well. So let me know. Do you think I should continue on and see what it ends up looking like? And if we don't like it, clean it, repaint it, maybe go shiny, then do rust. I don't know. Or should I just start over again? I kind of like it, and I can kind of picture what it's going to look like with the rest of the painting going on. But you know what? I'm going to leave it here for now. You tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hey, sorry guys, camera died. Anyways, yeah, like I was saying, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can get notified when I post videos. And if you want to see how this turns out, make sure to comment below so I can read it, and hit that bell notification to see what we do. So until then, later.